Okay, this is a public hearing for our new sign ordinance, and I'm going to call this public meeting, this public hearing to order. Well, this has been going on now for just over 7 months, and we've gotten all the comments back from incorporated. Staff's been working on the sign ordinance to incorporate all these York County Planning Commission comments. There are 2 minor changes. They're not really substantive changes. They're actually just more or less a clarification and an organization. But it's in section 2, subsection 12. It specifies alpha or Arabic numbers or alphabetical letters, and numbers should not be spelled out. And it also specifies the clarification for the size and area for fascia signs. So just those 2 minor changes. And I'll open it for public comment.
Looking at the unofficial staff report from the York County Planning Commission regarding this issue, the original New Freedom Borough actually submitted, and the one that you guys are trying to push through tonight are actually a little bit different, because you completely dropped the non-commercial signs relating to ideological, religious, or political thought, provided they do not exceed 12 square feet in area. That was in the original. It's not in the one that you're voting on tonight. And then additionally, the Planning Commission states that the municipality should not adopt these changes for multiple reasons. Has this document been made available to public disclosure outside of trying to find it yourselves? It looks like there was some unconstitutional or infringements that were identified by the Planning Commission and are now selectively removed or reworded in the current proposed one. So I'm trying to figure out how we went from here, where they didn't approve, and now here, where we're trying to approve.
Okay, for the tape record, Devin Taylor is speaking on behalf of the public.
I have multiple copies. If any of you would like to see this document, I can bring that up there. We can get that submitted to the minutes as well.
All of the council had the original documents of what was submitted to York County Planning Commission. Those changes were incorporated into the final draft, and it was not needed to be resubmitted to York County Planning Commission based on their staff recommendations. So their changes were incorporated into the document that's up for approval tonight.
Okay, so we just completely eradicated the ability for people to have protected First Amendment rights by just completely getting rid of non-commercial signs relating to ideological, religious, or political thoughts, because we just don't want to leave any interpretation open. You're completely going against your constituents and protecting their rights to have whatever they want.
Actually, it's unconstitutional per the United States Supreme Court if you have to read the sign and determine how it's going to be regulated. So if you have to read the sign and say this is ideological, this is religious, this is whatever, it's per se unconstitutional under the city of Gilbert, Arizona. So what we had done was come up with, this is a draft ordinance that came out after the city of Gilbert was decided by the United States Supreme Court. And it focuses on types of signs that has nothing to do with reading it to determine how it's regulated. And we are permitted to regulate signage. The fact that there were changes that were made, that was the form of the version that was actually advertised, and once it's advertised, it is available for public inspection. That is in accordance with the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code and Pennsylvania law.
So what you put on your sign won't be regulated at all, only the size and where it's allowed to be displayed on the property?
Do you guys want to address any of the other 4 or 5 concerns that the York County Planning Commission stated in their rebuttal to this and why the borough should not adopt this policy. Does anybody else want to look at it? Do you want a refresher? You know, I don't know how this goes. I'm just trying to find out why the outside approval authority or opinion is that we should not have this, and now we are still voting on why we should have it.
Well, again, the planning commission is a recommendation organization. They're not an approval. We approve it, they recommend. So again, staff went through and council had the document available, and this is the final that we came up with.
Okay. I was just curious if we normally go against the recommendations of our, experts, or if...
Perhaps you don't understand, sir. When there's comments were made by New York County Planning,
Staff revised the ordinance to address those comments and correct it accordingly.
And you didn't want to just get reapproved?
You don't, there's no requirement to, because they said, please change this, and they said, and we changed it. So we did exactly what they asked us to do.
No further comment. Thank you.
Thanks. Anything else? Anybody? Yeah. The people who are just coming in, this is a public hearing on the sign ordinance. The regular meeting will start at 6:30, just so in case you wondered what we were doing. Okay, if there's no other comment, I would entertain a motion. No? I would do that in a regular meeting, okay. Well then, this sign ordinance meeting is adjourned. We'll pick it up at 6:30 because I want to make sure everybody gets here who wants to be here.